Doc Loves the Kids, a local Kitsap County nonprofit organization established in 2015, whose mission is to provide activities, programs, and community support for at-risk youth.
They put the U in community.
Doc Loves the Kids.
Welcome to Uncommon Courtesy,
where we give you the courtesy of conversation
that's uncommonly spoke of.
I'm D-Mac.
I'm Wesley.
And this is the show. Hey, don't forget to like, listen, subscribe. Thanks everybody that checks us out. Don't mind the background. It is around Christmas time. We can only do the best at the Zoom. That's on me. Don't forget to catch us every Friday, the Friday Fix, 7 p.m. Pacific time. And don't forget to catch us on our unnamed Sunday Town Hall show at 1 p.m. every Sunday. Come on in. We had a guest last time. Shout out to him.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sir, how was your Christmas?
It was good, man. It was good. Everybody got what they needed. What about you?
It was good. I had a lot of love. A lot of family came over. It was really moving. It was great. Speaking of that, do you still feel do you say Merry Christmas to just random people?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. You know, some people they'd be like, "Oh, just say Happy Holidays so everyone's inclusive." Like, nah, we do this for Christmas.
Yeah, this is definitely Christmas time.
It's Christmas. I mean? Yeah.
I could see if somebody who was not if I knew that their faith or whatever that precluded them from this holiday right here, I would respect that and not say it to them. But anybody else, I just assume that, hey, it is what it is. If they say, well, I don't celebrate that, I'm like, well,
I can't be offended for people's
holidays.
I can't be offended for people's invisible friends. So yeah,
absolutely,
it is what it is. It's Merry Christmas. Yeah. All right, man. So speaking of American culture, because that's some things we do here in America. You know, we celebrate Christmas, we do Easter. Vivek Ramaswamy, he had a couple choice words about American culture, and he said the reason top tech companies often hire foreign-born and first-generation engineers over native Americans isn't because of intimate American IQ deficit or a lazy and wrong explanation. He said a key part of it comes down to the C word, and he said culture. Tough question demands tough answers, and if we're really serious about fixing the problem, we have to confront the truth. Our American culture has venerated mediocrity over excellence for many too long, at least since the 90s and likely longer. That doesn't start in college, it starts young. He says a culture that celebrates the prom queen over the math Olympiad champ or the jock over the valedictorian will not produce the best engineers. He said a culture venerates Corey from Boy Meets Girl or Zack and Slater over Screech and Saved by the Bell, or Stefan over Steve Urkel in Family Matters will not produce the best engineers.
I mean, if you look at it for what he's saying that we need to do better as far as culturally, as far as what we put as our priorities, which is true. I mean, but at the end of the day, what he's saying it for is so that they can get more of these guys. What is it called? H1B.
And then hold on, really quick. He said
H1B. Yeah, whatever that is.
Let me add this piece. He said, fact. He's like, I know multiple sets of immigrant parents in the 90s who actively limited how much their kids could watch those TV shows precisely because they promoted mediocrity. And their kids went on to become wildly successful STEM graduates.
Yeah, I mean, you got, like I said, the H1B visas are the reasons why they're talking about this, because they've had a really big pushback from the MAGA core group, his MAGA base, because the people who he's appointing a lot of Indian Americans to his cabinet. And so with Ramaswamy, all they're really doing is saying, hey, first he was like, I want to get rid of this visa. I want to get rid of all immigration was just out the window. Now all of a sudden he's starting to do a little bit of a pushback because, hey, he's trying to, it's kissing up to India, which I don't feel like is a bad thing to do. I mean, I'm not saying kiss up to them, but having good relations with India is important for us because India is going to be a world power. It's emerging as a world power, and it's kind of a counterbalance to China for us, which is good. And why would we get rid of the best and the brightest here? You know what I mean? Why would we stop them from coming into our country?
We were promised all immigrants.
Yeah, we were.
Every last one of them. 20 million, he told us. 20 million.
And birthright citizenship being finished, everything. But now they're changing their tune because they're looking at it from a perspective of, hey, you know how much business there is that's going to come out of India? People don't understand that the next two major emerging continents on the planet right now are Asia and Africa. You know what I mean? Africa's going to have a huge population boom, and many of the countries in Africa are going to be in the top 10, top 20 for GDP within the next 40, 50 years. They'll be there. You know, they have huge populations. They're starting to grow. It just is what it is. Then you look at Asia, they got like, they're going to have like 5 of the top 10 populations. They probably damn near got them right now. If you look at Indonesia, Bangladesh, Pakistan, China, India. I mean,
Yeah,
come
no,
on, China, India is
we were
3
told
billion.
we were told all immigrants. 20,
Uh,
you know what 20 million is times 1,000? 20 billion. It's
Come
20
on now.
billion dollars out
Is
there to
it?
make.
Is
Yeah.
it? Is it? I
Yeah.
don't know. That's a lot of money.
A
You're so
lot of money. That's a
hey,
lot of
it's
money.
hey, but I agree that I know that they're backpedaling right now because
Do you feel that's insulting from Vivek Ramsky?
Ramaswamy.
Yeah, sure.
How I feel. I don't feel it. I feel like he was telling the truth about America. Our education system is flawed. It is. It's badly flawed. It's in the dump. We all know how TikTok is looked at over in China. We've talked about this.
Yeah.
In China, they don't show the stuff they show over here on TikTok. We know we have our culture is a Jerry Springer instant gratification, you know what I mean, kind of a culture. So is it insulting? I think it's insulting to the base of Donald Trump because they're the ones who live in the more rural, poor, less educated, worse healthcare outcome areas that he's really talking about. He's not talking about the Democrats who live in Silicon Valley or the ones who live in the inner cities who
Well,
are,
not all Democrats are rich. I mean, you
I'm
have
not.
black voters that are Democrats and they live in the squalors
Oh yeah, no,
in a horrible
absolutely.
place. I mean, they're talking about 90s culture. I mean, to me, I thought 90s was a great time for us.
But if
You
you
know what I'm
look at
saying?
the,
He insulted all of us. He said family matters.
yeah,
I mean,
no,
yeah.
don't get me wrong.
Where
No,
was
what
Vivek from?
he's from India.
Okay, so why is he over
I
here
believe
talking
he's from
shit
India.
about
Don't
us?
let me don't.
That's like,
But no, I think that he is an American citizen. Vivek Ramaswamy is an American citizen. He's a native born American. His parents were, I believe, he's like a first generation immigrant. You know what I mean? Pretty much he's like the first generation to actually be born in America. That's why he was able to run for president. But I believe he's from India. Don't quote me on that completely. It could be Bangladesh, any of those countries in that area. I don't want to be disrespectful. But the point of it is though, I'm not, if you look at who voted for Donald Trump versus who voted for Kamala Harris, it was the more educated people who voted for Kamala Harris. Yeah, I'm not saying totally nobody could be like, oh yeah, everybody. No, of course. But the education level for people who are college graduates, people who had more higher income people were people who voted for Kamala Harris. So overwhelmingly, that's the audience that she attracted. You know what I mean? Overwhelmingly. And black people are educated more or less. A lot of us are highly educated. You know, a lot of us have, I mean, down south especially, a lot of us go to college. So it's a regular thing for us to do. That doesn't mean that we have a long way of catching up as far as the racial wealth gap is concerned, but we are educated. And so
he made I feel like he made a blanket statement off tops
he did.
about American culture and saying
He
that since
did.
our culture, in our culture, we celebrate everybody. We celebrate everyone that wins. We celebrate college graduates. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? We celebrate our family members becoming doctors and people that actually do things here in the country. He made it seem like we just no. Well, look, we like to watch people crash out. That's an American pastime. We
Mhm.
like to watch people destroy their lives. We
Hey,
like to
come
do it. We like to watch
absolutely.
it. It's
Coming
fun. It's our entertainment. We're Americans. That's what we're built on. Destroying people's lives.
hey,
So,
coming out of his mouth though, and from a person who Ann Coulter told to her face, I wouldn't vote for you because you're not white. You know what I mean? Like coming out of his mouth is going to be perceived as crap, especially in the sphere that he's in the MAGA sphere that he's in. They don't like you at all in the first place. You're first of all, she told you already, you're not white Anglo-Saxon. You know what I mean? Not a WASP. First of all, we never will vote for you. That's why you got 1% of the vote. You couldn't muster any of that, and you spent a lot of money to get that 1% of the vote. I mean, you were given this role you're given right now because you are a successful businessman, and
he's their DEI basically. You know what I'm saying? He's there just like when you see a black dude on Fox News. He's not there because they like him. He's
and that's
there
a hell of a
to
statement, bro.
attract other
That's
ones. You know what I'm
that's a
saying? To
hell of a
keep you
statement,
guys
bro.
calm. Because if it was just all white people telling them what to do, they'd feel like they'd be oppressed. But as long as
There's
you got
more.
people that look like you to do it for them,
There's more Indian Americans in Trump's cabinet than there are blacks in Trump's cabinet. Keeping it real, to be perfectly honest with you,
well, I
there
mean,
are a
look
lot
at
more.
Vivek's Indian. What's his name? JD Vance's wife is Indian.
They got
Um,
the FBI director guy that he put up
yeah,
there. He's an Indian. There's a few other ones too. I don't know the roles that they were put in for. I know I think one of them's for the AI. He's running the AI department basically. He's a Indian American as well. And so I mean, there's a few other ones too that I can't recall what their
now there's
roles
one
are.
thing too. I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist, but remember in Canada they was talking about. You remember how India was trying to kind of infiltrate their government and do some things, and
I didn't even think about that. I forgot about that right there.
I
That's a
didn't.
hell of a.
Every
I
time I
think we
look
should.
at Vivek, I'm like something reminds me about you.
And we need to dig more into that even deeper because if you start looking at everything that's going on, I mean, we'll touch on it a little bit later on in the segment, but yeah, definitely, man. I mean, that's a smart, that's a really good comment coming from you, man. You know, I know you're an intelligent person. I'm not trying to downgrade that, but just putting those two things together, I didn't even see that as being a thing right there. But that's a really good.
Well, yeah, it's just it's seeming like it's too much. Like, why is he allowed to speak? And then you look at JD Vance's wife, and she has a good job. You know what I'm saying? And so of course you're gonna be
She's
like, oh,
intelligent.
of course you're sitting there with your vice president and the president or whatever. You have access to them, and you're like, they're like, yeah, we need somebody to head up this. That hey,
But
I know a guy.
you know who the upper crest. I mean, the number one whites are like probably damn near the sixth or the seventh, and on the scale of like who are the who are the wealthiest people in this country as far as like gross income or whatever you want to call it, or out of everyone. Number one is Indian Americans. People have to understand that a lot of them come from over there, and they do push education, just like in Asia. In most Asian countries, they push education. It's a fact. Do I believe that should be bled into our culture? Yes, I do. I think that should be. But I think they're going to take it harshly. I think the people are going to
Yeah.
take it very harshly coming from him. They're not going to listen to him and want to hear it coming out of his mouth. They're just not going to want to hear that. But I mean, they're talking about getting rid of the Department of Education. So they're trying to crash out a lot of just American culture in general by trying to get rid of the Department of Education.
Well, think about this too. I just looked him up. Cash Patel, the new director, he's going to be the new director of
Gosh,
the FBI.
FBI, yeah,
That is our country's police,
yeah.
basically.
That's
His
hell
early
of a
life education. His real
sensitive.
name is Kashyap Paramand Patel. He was
Cash
born
App,
Kashyap
Cash App. Okay, I got you. I almost like
Paramand
Cash
Patel,
App.
born in February,
Hmm.
born on February 25th, 1980, in Garden City, New York, to Indian immigrant parents.
I mean, like I said, man, and there's a bunch of other. I think he has about 4 or 5 people that he's appointed. I mean, these are key roles. AI being head of the AI department, and that's a
Hold
key
on. So,
role.
think about it. In what we were told, they're going to deport that guy. Should be deported
Oh, because his
if
parents.
his parents were immigrants. I mean, he shouldn't be an American. He's not an American citizen. They're
Well,
giving,
what
yeah.
they're just what they're gonna do is they're gonna dice it up and say, well, no, because what these people is no because, but with anyone else is like, oh, you're in birthright citizenship. Let's retroactively get rid of that. We should be deporting you too and your parents with them. But these people right here, just like Elon Musk, should not. His kids shouldn't even be American citizens either because
Yeah.
he came here illegally. Period. He did, and that's facts. I know, but
Even if
nobody wants to
he
hear
has
that.
kids with an American, doesn't he?
I don't know. I think he does. I think he has a kids with an American woman, but any kids that he had born here in this country. I'm just saying he could have had kids with a person in another country, but they came here and were born here. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And that's birthright citizenship. They all should be illegals at this point in time. They should, but they won't be because money talks in the Trump administration. Period.
Nah,
Plain and
but
simple.
when you tell the people you're gonna get rid of all the immigrants, and then you say, well, we're gonna let some of them stay,
No, not
and
these guys. These guys.
no,
These guys.
no. People want blood. That's what they
I,
paid for. That's what you got their vote for. I mean, you're not gonna say, hey, there's 20 million illegal or immigrants out here wanting to rape and murder your children and take over your neighborhoods, and now it's be like, well, a
hey,
couple of them can stay.
but that's what they're gonna do. I don't want to jump off the topic too quickly because it is a great topic, and I think you made some really good points on that topic. I think should do a little dive a little deeper into that
Yeah.
whole entire conspiracy that you just came out with. I think is good. But I got